As we've been talking about an hour and 15 minutes from now, President Trump will address Congress for the first time since taking office for the second time 6 weeks ago. And while this is not the State of the Union address, it pretty much is for all intents and purposes, which means all of Congress gets a +1. And who each person brings actually sends a message. Here's Sammy.
Tonight, all eyes will be on President Donald Trump, and while it will be his voice that echoes throughout the joint session of Congress, those in the audience will have a message too.
It's all about sort of messaging beyond the message.
Amy Koch is a former Minnesota Senate Majority Leader. She says every guest lawmakers choose to bring usually has political significance, like Ilhan Omar's invitee, Chris Wicker.
Fired by DOJ from his role as Deputy Director of the Minnesota District Office of the Small Business Administration.
Hired back a week later, and then fired again. And so that's a focus on Minnesota. That's sending a message.
Senator Tina Smith's guest is Kate Severson, a former Voyageurs National Park Ranger who was laid off due to DOJ's cuts.
She's saying, look at these are the people, these are the things, Minnesota, that are going to be impacted by the president's decision.
Representative Tom Emmer's guests include Minnesota Speaker of the House Lisa Demuth and hockey legends Buzz Schneider, Rob McClanahan, who are part of the Miracle on Ice game.
He's making some statements with those, but it's funny that he's got the hockey players too. No surprise.
Representative Angie Craig bringing Education Minnesota President Denise Speck.
So finding Minnesota people that they would like to include on the list, but also maybe send a bit of a message is typical.
Representative Pete Stauber is inviting Jennifer Hegseth, wife of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, along with another Miracle on Ice legend.
Right, so again, hockey player, as well as Secretary of Defense is from Minnesota, and so making sure that his wife is there as well. That's actually, I think, a really nice gesture.
Senator Amy Klobuchar inviting Gary Werdish, third-generation farmer and president of the Minnesota Farmers Union.
So that is just a little bit more Amy Klobuchar, right? Less political, much more like straight down the middle.
Representative Brad Finsted's office is actually being kind of mysterious. They would not say if he has plans to bring a guest.
Really? No response. So maybe they're shoring up a guest, or it's going to be, I don't know, maybe it's a big surprise.
Imagine Charlie XCX comes in, like no one anyone expects.
Amazing. Owatonna would lose their mind.
Yeah. Whether loudly at the podium or silently in the audience, each leader will have their own message.
Representative McCollum's guest is bringing a Ramsey County Commissioner. Michelle Fischbach will have a state Republican leader. Morrison will bring her veteran husband, just to round out everyone.
I gotta know, did any of the senators' offices or congressional offices say, yeah, we've had a team working on our guest?
A
team? Is it like a big get, you know, like you want to get the most special person?
Yeah, I mean, I think like that's the goal, is you want attention on it.
Right.
I'm surprised no one went for Charlie XCX though. That would have been the obvious choice, right?
Is she from Minnesota?
No.
See, that's a nod to my pop culture right there. My second question is, who is Charlie, who?
Brat?
Charlie Brat?
Brat Summer, Jana, remember?
I don't know what she's talking about. Someone help me. Send Congress. All right, Sammy, we'll work on it tomorrow with the TikTok. We'll be right back.